Now, today I want us to speak about agency. Agency comes from the word agent. Agent is a person who represents another person or represents a group of persons or group of entities or organizations, acts on behalf of one person or the other. There are so many areas through which agency can be practiced. You can become an agent in many areas. You can become an agent in agribusiness, you can become an agent in transport, you can become an agent in real estate, in so many areas. Today, I want us to discuss about the agency in agribusiness. This is an area that you can really earn a lot of income if you really are very creative, very persuasive, very much influential when it comes to negotiating deals. Specifically on agribusiness, there are four major players in agribusiness sector. We have the farmers, or we can call them the producers, of course, and these are very key because they are the source of every dealing in the agricultural value chain. They are the ones who determine what's gonna be produced, what is gonna be consumed. Then we've got the agro-input dealers or manufacturers. These are entities or individuals that are very key also in the value chain of agriculture or agribusiness because they are the major sources of the raw materials that are used actually in the production. For instance, we've got the agrochemicals, we've got the fertilizers, foliars, seeds that are used in planting or something. All those inputs that you think about, we've got the agro-input dealers. They are players in the agribusiness value chain. We've got the produce buyers. These are the people now who really motivate the farmers or the producers when it comes to production. Because if you're in agribusiness sector and you lack a reliable market, then you don't want to be motivated to produce. So we've got the produce buyers, that is the market. Then we have the financiers. Financiers, these are people who come to boost the productivity, the manufacture of the inputs, upscaling the buying capacity for the buyers. They are also very key because without them, we may not run very much far. But then you realize that there's a gap that exists, that these people need each other very much. The farmers need agro inputs, that is quality inputs, for them to produce quality produce, for them to get quality market. They need each other. Financiers need the people to get loans from them. For example, the banks rely on borrowers, those who borrow loans from them, so that they can upscale their productivity or their dealings. The produce buyers require consistent supply of quality produce. So we need to have a group of farmers together who should be producing in a standardized manner so that they can manage the quantity and quality required in the market. These agro-input dealers require a pool of consumers for what they are producing. But then these guys, they are not really coordinated. And now this leaves the gap that should be filled by someone who should come and settle somewhere to now coordinate them. This person will now act as the agent for all of them. I want to show you how now you can come in, become an agent, and actually command what happens in the whole agribusiness value chain sector as you earn income, of course. Let me show you how. There is a chart here. The green circle here represents the farmers or the producers. The black circle here represents the produce buyers. After the farmers have done the farming, they need to take the produce somewhere for purchase so that they can get income, they can continue earning. The blue circle here represents the manufacturers of inputs, the agrochemicals, the fertilizers, and other sorts of inputs that are required in the farming. Then we've got the red circle here, represents the banks or the financiers of all these activities that take place in the agricultural value chain. All these circles now come and meet each other because they depend on each other. The farmers depend on produce buyers, the produce buyers depend on farmers, the farmers depend on input manufacturers, the input manufacturers depend on farmers, the banks depend on farmers and all other people, but they're not coordinated. When you have an ability to now coordinate them together, you come and settle in the middle of all these players where they meet. You can see this central part here with this letter A. Letter A means agency or agent. This is where they all meet. They need someone who can coordinate them and act on behalf of each. And this is where you start in the green circle. Of course, with the market. If you've got ability to mobilize people together, the thing now I was calling the social capital. If you've got ability to mobilize farmers of particular produce together, that you can actually market to the market, you can take to the market and market on their behalf. If you can form several groups of farmers here who can produce a certain crop that you can actually market by yourself, you will have, or you create some power, some pool of farmers who are able to consume some inputs, and you will have bargaining power in every other sector that you go, every other player that you're gonna face. You will have some bargaining power because if you have, for instance, you create a pool of 5,000, 10,000 farmers who are automatic consumers of the inputs that are produced, the agrochemicals, the fertilizer, and the rest, then you'll be ready for business. You go to the manufacturers of inputs and negotiate on behalf of farmers for bulky purchase of inputs, agrochemicals and fertilizers, because you've got a pool of consumers, that is farmers already. You go to these manufacturers, negotiate on their behalf at a subsidized price, at a negotiated MD price, so that you can get a very nice price of inputs from the inputs manufacturers to the farmers. Through this negotiation, you're gonna enjoy some commission or some profit because you get the price of these inputs at the manufacturer's price, because you've got the bargaining power because of the consumers that you've created at the farmer level. You get at a very good price here, because if you go to a manufacturer of inputs and tell them, I've got 10,000 consumers of your inputs and I wanna direct all of them to you, or I will get the inputs from you, then take them to those consumers directly. Nobody will refuse such a deal. So they will give it a very nice price so that you can top up something little, you take to them. You've not purchased these inputs. You've negotiated because of the numbers you have here, so that now they can supply to you. You take to them through selected agro dealers within themselves, within the farmers themselves. These agro dealers set at strategic points will now distribute these inputs to the farmers who are working with them. These agro dealers are also the farmers, that they are also farmers within this cycle here. So you take to them, which means you don't even incur any cost of storage. So you take to the agro dealers who are also farmers, they're gonna enjoy some small commission also. They take to the farmers, then the farmers consume. When these farmers produce, you've set within or amongst themselves some aggregators of the produce. these produce that are taken here, because you're the one who has gone to market the produce, you're gonna market this produce that in a manner that you're gonna get some commission out of every quantity that is harvested, maybe a kilogram or something like that. So you'll be, from the farmers, you'll be earning from two areas, through the raw inputs and through the produce. So when you get the inputs from here, you take to the dealers, you earn some commission from that. When these farmers produce, they get aggregated, the produce get aggregated, and you take to the market, you get some commission out of that. So, and you'll be able to go and negotiate with those who are the produce buyers. So these produce buyers will trust you because you've got numbers who are able to produce in big quantities, maybe for export or for local consumption, to satisfy the demand that is pushing them. Because you've already created the groups here, the produce buyers will come to you so that you can approach your farmers who can produce on behalf of these buyers, so that they can now buy in bulk. And because you're producing bulk, you also have a big bargaining power. When it comes to the banks survive on giving loans. And the loans are given to those people who have opened accounts with the banks. Because you've got a big pool of farmers here, you go to the bank and negotiate on their behalf and tell them, I've got 10,000 farmers that I'm working with, who I can influence and open accounts with you, so that you can give them loans to produce higher, because they're producing a certain crop that has got market and they've got a reliable source of inputs. So the banks will be willing to accept your deal, and within this, of course, the bank should also give you some commission. For the farmers to maximize the benefit of farming, they need a reliable source of quality inputs. They need a reliable market where they're gonna take their produce, so that they can consistently produce as they continue earning. For the banks to earn a bigger interest from loans, they need a pool of consumers for their loans. And here you've got the pool of consumers, not the farmers. For the input manufacturers to earn adequate profits, they need a reliable pool of consumers. And you've already created a pool of consumers here. In short, for everybody, for every player here to really acquire what they really need in their product, in whatever they're doing, maybe the farmers, maybe manufacturers, maybe the banks, maybe the produce buyers, for them to maximize the returns on the investments, for them to maximize whatever they are doing in their business, they need a certain person who is missing, and that's the person that I'm telling you to really become the agent for them to maximize. These ones, through the pool, they want to maximize their sales. These ones, through whatever they're getting from here, maybe at a subsidized price, so that you can be competitive in the market. They need someone who's gonna connect them to the right source of the inputs, and they need the market where they're gonna be taking their produce. For the banks to earn, they really need someone to come and intervene in between them. So this is the gap that is left. You can easily settle down here. You go and negotiate with the banks, come and negotiate with the farmers, go negotiate with the inputs manufacturers, negotiate with the buyers. You'll be ready for market. You'll be ready, a great person to become a bridge. And as every person crosses to the other, they leave a mark of earning, a mark of income with you, the agent. I advise you. And there are so many other agencies. And if you really want to understand, if you really want me to take you through the various agencies that you can succeed through, you're gonna visit my YouTube page, that is Philip Marigo, and you'll be able to learn more and more about how you can become a millionaire through agency. For more information on the various areas that you can become an agent and actually make a lot of money, a lot of income, just comment on my YouTube channel, that is Philip Marigo, and I'll answer you directly on where you ask the question and how I'm gonna assist you to go further. Thank you.